How's it going, everybody, and welcome back to some more Link to the Past. In today's video, we're going to be going through Mire, which is definitely a misery. I'm going to suffer a lot through this temple, but that's okay, because this is all pre-recorded stuff, and we know that I survive, so there's hope. Maybe not a lot, but I do get through scathed. So we don't really need to upgrade our bombs or arrows at the moment. I mean, if you have the rupees, you can go ahead and do it, but it's not a necessity. And there's not really anything to collect right off the bat, so we can just go on ahead and head straight to Misery Mire. In fact, I don't really think there's anything between the temples anymore that we really need to collect, because I think we can just keep on heading straight to the next dungeon pretty much over and over now. Which is a bit unfortunate that some of the side collecting stuff is over, but there's always next Zelda game, you know? So, what we want to do here is activate, I believe it is our Quake medallion. Quake or Ether? Ether. So activate our Ether medallion. Quake is going to be used for the next dungeon. So you activate that, and then it's going to seem like nothing's happening for a second. But you just got to be a little patient. And then it stops raining here, which is nice. We cured the weather, I suppose. Or froze it. And to me, the entrance of this dungeon kind of reminds me of the Shadow Temple in Ocarina of Time. So I wonder if that entrance for the Shadow Temple was inspired by that little gap there. It just really reminds me of a 2D version of the Shadow Temple. So who knows if that was the inspiration or not. We're going to be seeing some Wizrobes here, which are not too difficult. I don't know if a single slash could take them out with the sword, but a spin attack for sure does. And we just want to kill them all, clear out the room. So the door opens, and we get more of those little noodle thingies there, but they're no trouble. It's just the stupid BMOS that caused the issues. I don't remember if you can actually do anything about the BMOS. You might be able to freeze them with the ice rod. I can't remember for certain, because I don't think arrows kill them in this game. So you might just have to avoid them entirely, which is alright. You can see me trying to find my way along here, but I do eventually figure out where to go. Rest easy on that part. Not so much the not dying part. Actually, I don't think I died. Probably almost died a few times, but I'm so set up that I don't perish. So we're good there. And we're getting the final item in this dungeon, our final item that has an item slot. And that is going to be called, gosh, I don't even know. It's the cane of something. I think it's the cane of Somaria. But it doesn't really have too many uses, since we're pretty late game as it is. I mean, we're in the second to last sort of main temple, I suppose. I mean, we do have one more after next dungeon, but that's just part of the end game sequence. So a little sad there, but there's still quite a few more Zelda games for me to play on the channel, and I gotta do a vote on that one of these days. Maybe once the next video comes out, I'll get that vote going, because I know there's a tiny few people that do watch the Zelda videos. They're not as popular as the Scooby-Doo or Spider-Man videos, but there's still some people that watch these. So 2 fake bombable walls down there, which I feel like they don't really do too often in Zelda games, unfortunately. Was it just this game that did it? Did it? I feel like it might have been. And I don't think there's any unmarked walls in this game. Like a wall that you can bomb that doesn't have a marking. I feel like there's none, but maybe there is. So I was kind of riding the struggle bus, just trying to figure out where to go here. Normally, I do like using the Zelda dungeon walkthroughs because it's straightforward and it helps me just cover everything, because currently their channel doesn't have a walkthrough on it for A Link to the Past, so I just kind of for those that just reading a walkthrough or watching it, it's here. But for this one, I just tried to find my own way, which I eventually do. Don't worry. Just takes a little bit longer than I would have liked. Now, I don't know if these are timed torches. They might be, so I don't think you can use your lantern, which I always find weird that in this game, the lantern's really not used too often. I mean, use it at the start, but then not really ever again. But maybe it's just sort of to get familiar with the whole item mechanics, you know? Who knows? I think these are bomb shoes, if I'm not mistaken. Because they kind of look like the walking bomb shoes. I forget what they're called. They're in Majora's Mask as well. Don't remember what they're called, but I think that's what they're supposed to be. Now, how exactly they come out of the monsters lit up, I really have no idea. But here's a little interesting room that it reminds me of, I guess, Link's Awakening's Eagle's Tower reminds me kind of this, because once you light all these torches, the dungeon shifts around a little bit, and I always like the shifting dungeon mechanic. I mean, I think it's only used, like, what, twice? Like, once in Link's Awakening and in this game, but I just think it's really cool. But I don't think they could have done an animation for it in this game, just because that would have been a bit more complicated on the SNES, maybe. I don't know, either way, we still get a little, I don't know, graphic. I guess there's no graphic, but a little sound effect. Which, perhaps the players originally thought their game was crashing here or something. But, no, it's just the tempo shifting around. Which I don't really know how torches make that work. But they somehow do, and you don't need to kill all the Wizrobes in this room, by the way. I thought there might be something if I kill them all, but nope, there's nothing. So, if you feel like killing them, you can go for it. Otherwise, you don't have to. Another thing that I kind of wish they explored a bit more is, like, temple origins. Like, what are the purposes of the dungeons and temples in, like, some of these earlier games? And I guess most Zelda games in general, they never really go into too much about, like, what the purpose of the dungeons are originally. Like, what was the Ice Palace for? What is Mystery Mire for, you know? I don't know. I just don't know. It's something that I don't know if the Hyrule Historia covers there or not. I do have that book somewhere, but I've never really looked at it too much, so who knows, maybe the answers are in some of the books, maybe not. I don't know, maybe people have their own fan theories. I just don't know. And again, I don't think we need to kill all the Wizrobes in this room. At least not to get anything good. But there's the big key, so now we can get access to the dungeon item and the boss. Two good things. Well, I guess one's not good, but we have to take care of one. I don't know why they always put those yellow ball things in. It's so weird to me. They just decide, hey, let's keep throwing those at Lonk. He'll be fine. I don't know. Cause do you take double damage as Bunny Link? I can't remember. I really don't know. You might be wondering how on the same hill are you supposed to get that switch to stay down. Well, that is where the dungeon item comes in handy. I wonder if speedruns utilize going to this dungeon first to get the cane, because it speeds things up later on. I don't know, because I think you'd still have to do Dark Palace first, at least in glitchless runs, because you need the ocarina to get here. I don't know how that all works. It's a mystery. But I'm just figuring my way around the dungeon here. Eventually I figure things out, like where to go. In fact, I think the dungeon item, either dungeon item or the compass, are up this way. Because there was a reason for going this way. And there's a key. That's always up this way. And then we just gotta backtrack a little bit. And now a little bit more. And then we can open up this door and see what's inside. I think this is the room that I really like, that it utilizes the magic cape, because I feel like there's not really too many dungeons that actually utilize using it, because I'm pretty sure that's what the intent was, that you use the magic cape to walk across the spikes and then you step on the switch, which really, I think it's kind of cool that they have you because you could just walk across, take damage, but if you're like one of those players that likes exploring, you can just get the magic cape and then take care of it that way. So I think that's really cool. And I don't know how I managed to stay up there. Okay, so Key of Somaria. Somaria, not Samaria. Somaria. So now we have the dungeon item, 2 keys. I don't know where that last key would be to get through that. Actually, you must need a key to is it just that? I don't know. I don't know why I have 2 keys. I think I might be overthinking this, because I know I could use a key on that door just on the side. I think I should have. I don't know. Thinking about keys, it's too confusing for me. So I could have used one on that door that I chose not to, so I think that's why I have an extra one. And then I believe you need 2 keys in the basement. I think that's how that works. And goodness, okay, so there's been a few times in the dungeons where I've let a bottle fairy out and the sucker just flies off immediately. Like, I'm not even kidding. It doesn't just float around, like, it just goes to the top of the screen and then disappears. And I don't know why that happens so much, but it does. Oh, so I guess that door was kind of useless? I mean, granted, it did give me money, but just nothing really exciting, you know? You know, maybe I should just make a video on dungeon theories, like what the purposes of dungeons are. Connor styled. I don't know what the purpose of that giant block was. Perhaps it was just to intimidate me, which it didn't really do a very good job of, because you could just walk around. And I believe that's another use there, using the cane of Somaria. If you put a block in the way, then the spike can only go like one direction. So, and this is another. You see, I'm realizing things now afterwards that I didn't realize before for some reason. So, I think we could have used the cane and then like shot it up, and it could have hit the switch in the middle. I don't know. I did it the Connor way. That's all that matters. Got her taken care of. Yeah. So I have a habit in this game, as I'm sure probably a lot of other players do too, just not hitting the switches when we see them, just because it doesn't seem like there'd be a use to hitting them, you know? But there's definitely a use to hitting them. Chances are, if there's a switch that lowers and raises blocks, you probably need to hit it. And then for this room, you might be a little confused, because those blocks up there are raised, and you're like, how do I do this? Well, we have a bombable wall, just right there. So we bomb the wall, and there we go. got ourselves another switch. And nothing on that side, so don't even worry about it. And then it is just about time for the boss. So you can use your magic powder on those anti-fairies if you'd like. Use it on the anti-fire there. Get yourself a fairy if you need it. Otherwise, I guess you could just restart the temple. Or like, use the mirror, go outside, get some stuff, but you really don't need to do that, you know? And I was very appreciative of the blue mail in this dungeon, because although I almost died like 100 times, and I would probably not survive a 3-heart run, I didn't die, so there's that at least. And then it is just about boss time. Just head on to the left over here, and lo and behold, a door that actually uses the big key, which is somewhat rare for the adult dungeon, or not the adult dungeons, the Dark World dungeons. Now, this is a very, 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 very easy boss. All you gotta do is slash, slash, slash. In fact, you could probably just camp one of the corners. And I think you can use one of the medallions on this guy. I don't remember for sure, but it is, compared to the rest of the dungeon, this boss is just very, very simple. Now, I might not have positioned myself very well, but he is easy peasy. Just gotta bully the eyeballs, and that is all there is to it. Phase 1, at least. Oh, I guess you can't use the medallion. See, I was thinking one way or the other. I knew something was off this video. But, yeah, I guess you can't use the medallion. But that'd be cool if one of the bosses like had a little secret, they could just use one of the medallions to insta-kill it. Sort of like in Zelda 1. I think it was one of the bosses you play the flute for, and then it just like is like almost dead. You only have to hit it a few more times. And I don't know why they always have eyeballs for bosses. Very strange. Just give her a couple attacks, or him, whatever this boss is, and then that just takes care of it. So, I think I'm going to end the commentary here, and let the maiden do the rest of the talking while I finish off this giant eyeball. I want to thank you guys all for watching, and I hope you have a good rest of your day. Thank you.